What's up, guys? It's about 8 in the morning. Just finished my morning routine, some coffee, some breakfast, getting myself ready to perform a workout, and let's get started.
Now, when you're working into your main set, you need to make sure that you get there strategically. You don't want to do too many reps in the beginning because you could burn yourself out, but if you jump too heavy too fast, you can injure yourself. So always make sure that you're creeping into the weight that you're planning on lifting to ensure that your body is ready for it. What I like to do is just add a few pounds, do a few reps, add a few more pounds, and just kind of go by feel to make sure I don't overdo myself before the main lift.
All right, so I'm about to hit my main set here, but let me talk for a second about what my intentions are, what my goals are. So I got the Swiss bar behind me. Typically, I would use a standard barbell for performing the bench press, but several times in the past, I've tweaked my shoulder. A lot of it has to do with poor mobility in the overhead movements, and also just kind of in the past letting my shoulders travel just a little too far forward on the main lifts. I find that this neutral grip position that the Swiss bar offers allows me to get in position better, getting my chest out, shoulders back, and I mean, it does drive the triceps a bit more than the chest, but at the same time, you know, I'm just not running that risk of injury. So my main objective here with this current program that I'm doing is to try to build up my 1 rep max in the Swiss bar bench, the high bar back squat, and the conventional deadlift. All the while I'm doing a lot of hypertrophy work through other things like pull-ups, Romanian deadlifts, overhead press, rows, you know, those sort of things. But every single day I come into the gym, my objective is to always try to do more than I did the day before. So if I'm grabbing a certain weight for overhead press per se, you know, I don't necessarily have to grab a heavier weight, but I need to do more reps than last time. If I'm able to meet my rep requirements, then I grab a heavier weight for the next session. I try to keep my repetitions very consistent with their timing, making sure that I'm not going too fast or too slow, or varying them up too much throughout each day, because if I switch it up here and there, it's going to be a little more difficult to try to read the metrics, try to understand, like, am I making progress here, or did I tire myself out through more time under tension? So just by keeping everything consistent, it just helps me to really gauge my progress. Just kind of give you some backstory. This program that I'm performing right now is something that I've been strategically working on since 2013. This one here in particular that I've put together has been the ultimate combination of strength and hypertrophy work, and every time I hit it, my PRs go up. You know, I'm able to lift more, my strength goes up, my aesthetics, just looking in the mirror, changed significantly. And so I've just decided, you know, I haven't hit this program in a while. I'm hitting it again. I want to document this journey so you can kind of see where we're going from here. You know, I'm just working on like tweaking it, making it even better than it's ever been before. And you know, I'm just looking forward to this workout. Today's objective was to take 160 pounds, which is roughly my 9 rep max currently, and try to do as many reps as I can, since I know that if I get more than 9 reps on this one, that I'll beat my PR. That was just my motivating driver to try to get 2 more reps out. The last one was definitely a struggle. The first one really didn't get locked in position well enough, and that's something I've just been working on to try to maintain consistency to ensure I don't get injuries. So yeah, I caught that if you did as well. But yeah, so today I just did a couple more reps than my current 1 rep max, or current 11 rep max. So I'm gonna put that in my calculator to see what my estimated 1 rep max is from that, and then that's gonna help me calculate the rest of my program so I can keep working over the course of the next 5 weeks or so. As you see here, this was my previous 1 rep max for bench. I've actually never never gotten heavier than this. And a lot of it had to do with just the struggle with using a standard barbell and my delts being an issue, and always trying to override my chest. So I've been doing a lot more chest work to try to fix those compensations. So we got here, my previous 9 rep max was 160, and that's what we had on the bar today. Well, I just did 160 for 11 reps, so I'm going to put that in my little calculator here that I made. And there's my new 1 rep max. So awesome. It's a new record. I've been working on making this thing pretty, but let me go to my customizer here and put in my 1 rep max there. What was it? 222? 2? Yeah, there we go. So now that I put that in there, it should calculate the rest of my program. So let's see here. Yeah, so it would have been a 175 week. But yeah, this program here is something I'm working on. It's a 5-week program. And essentially just come in here and you tell it, when your start date is, whether you're using pounds, kilograms, and then you type in your maxes for every little exercise that you're doing throughout the program. Some of these I just kind of threw in there as an estimation, just because I haven't done some heavy lifting like this in a long time. I've been mainly focused on athletic training, endurance and burpees and all those sorts of things. But now we're just focusing more on the strength aspect. So let me come into something I've finished. So essentially, like with this particular program here, it tells me the weight that I'm supposed to be using based off my 1 rep max. Notice it says 110, 150, 165, 170. But if I go to my customizer and change my bench press to, let's say, the 205, or even just, let's say, 200, makes it easier to see the difference here. Go back to week 1, and you can see that it changes the recommended weight for you to lift. So I'll be tracking like what I'm doing right underneath and using these to estimate my maxes. But when I come into the gym, everything is already filled out for me. I don't even need to think about what to grab. And I know exactly what I need to do to push my limits to the next level every single session. All right, so next up on the list, we have pull-ups. I'm gonna have to do a 10, 8, and 8. When I'm doing my pull-ups, I like to weigh myself in the morning, see how much I weigh, and then subtract it from what my estimated max is so I know exactly how much weight to load. That way I'm able to do some crossover applications if I'm doing lat pull-downs. All right, so I just checked in on the scale this morning. I'm weighing 153. So after doing like a little warm-up set, my first 10 rep should be pulling about 170 pounds, so I'll just subtract the difference and then stack that weight around my hips. Well, that's tough. So when I'm performing any strength activity, no matter what it is, if I don't get a rep all the way completed, I don't count it. So that's not going to go in my records. It's not going to help me to count something if I only made it like halfway there. So I hit 9 reps at 173. My target was 10 reps at 170. Close enough for me. And it was just the first set, so get a little warmed up into that. Next one, I'm going to stack on another 15 pounds and try to get 8 reps. Now, just remember to have these 2.5 pound plates. So these will actually help me dial in closer to my 1 rep max without going over it. And so maybe we'll try to hit the 8 reps at 185. So I've gone from a 12 rep max with my body weight of roughly 155 at the time. It's been going down since the beginning of this program, and my strength has been going up. I'm just losing body fat. Right now I'm at 153. Instead of doing 12 reps of pull-ups like I did when I started the program at body weight, now I'm pulling like 230 pounds for my 1 rep max. That's including my body weight. And so my objective here is to try to build that strength back up. In the past, the most pull-ups I've ever done body weight was 24. I was very focused in one of my pull-up programs that I've been training in. And that was all fine and dandy until I started getting into other things. And so no matter what program you're in, it really helps to kind of go back and forth if you want a nice balance. But if you want to focus in one particular area, then you have to have a program that's specifically focused to that one area. So right now, the specific focus to this program is just making me strong all the way around. I'm not anybody special. I'm not elite status or anything like that. But just seeing my maxes go up significantly in just 3 weeks, that indicates that there's a lot of strength there that hasn't been tapped into yet. So that's what I'm trying to work on. Now, this wouldn't be a quality video without a little help from our sponsors. So today I want to say thank you to Chicken and Rice. This is my wonderful breakfast this morning, and it has given me the strength that I needed to go about my day and perform better with more energy. It is so delicious. So when I'm lifting heavy, I'm not like most other people. I don't like to wait to eat. I like to eat before. Sometimes I like to snack during, and I like to eat after. I find it just gives me more energy. I'm not allowed to, and it enables me to do more throughout the exercise, and the recovery is even better. When I first started this program with my single arm dumbbell row, I was doing about 12 reps at 45 pounds each arm. And it definitely wasn't where I wanted it to be. But that's like the difference between doing a lot of like high intensity work, high rep work versus focusing on strength. A lot of times the strength suffers. So I'm getting back into that. In 2 weeks, I was able to kind of bring my strength back up to par. As you can see in this other little clip, I did 12 reps at 100 pounds with the single arm row. I attempted rowing with the barbell, but I just couldn't get the right angle. But since I wasn't getting enough range of motion because my plates are so big, I decided to go with the underhand grip barbell row for the rest of my program here. I don't want to be doing more reps of 100. I want to focus on trying to get my strength up. So switching over to the underhand barbell row where I don't actually let the weight rest, I got a lot more time under tension there. I know it's going to be a little bit harder. So I'm not going to be able to necessarily double my weight right off the bat, but we'll see where we go by the end of these next couple of weeks. All right, so next up we have floor flies. We'll be using dumbbells, trying to work the chest a little bit. A little bit, that's an exaggeration. But we're really gonna destroy these pecs today. And the reason I like floor flies, it allows my body to get in a better position, and I'm not risking overextension of my joints and my shoulders. And since my shoulders have been a problem in the past because of my limited overhead range of motion, which I've been working on, but I just can't seem to get it where I want to. One more thing that I can do to just kind of prevent any shoulder damage in the future is doing these flies on the floor. Feel free to try this as a finisher in whatever program that you're in right now. I'm going to be taking roughly 12 rep max, and I'm going to be repping it out to failure and trying to go beyond the 12 reps. And once I hit that, I'm going to put a timer on. I'm going to give myself about 4.5 minutes, and I'm going to try to rep out double the amount of reps that I did in my first set with as little rest as possible. All right, last but not least, we are going to finish off with the biceps. We're going to focus on some aesthetics. And for the biceps, I'm going to be actually doing reverse curls. I find that they are a great assistant to building up my pull-up capability, because the range of motion, like when you're grabbing onto the bar and you're coming down, this is the same muscle that you're working when you're doing your pull-up. You're pulling this way. This is the reverse curl. So if your pull-ups are lacking, I highly recommend playing around with the reverse curl. You might not see a lot of guys do this in the gym just because it makes them look weak. Reverse curls, you cannot lift as much weight as a standard bicep curl with your palm up. So just by turning that palm down, and then when you come up, coming out a little bit with that curl is going to give you some phenomenal gains in pushing the bicep out and making it look even bigger. So if you've just been doing curls like this and you're kind of at a place where you just want them to be bigger, but they're not there yet, start with some reverse curls and it'll make your bicep heads pop right out just the way you want. I'm jumping in on week 3 here. I should have started from the beginning so you could see the progress. You could see me reach failure at the lighter weights, just so you can see how far I've come from there. I mean, my maxes have doubled since the start of this program. And for any of the advanced lifters out there, this is not something that's going to double your max. We're starting off with roughly 70% of our max with higher repetition in the early weeks, and then we start increasing the intensity, playing around with different variables such as rest times and rep schemes. And by the end of the 5-week program, we can test our 1-rep max. And once we have the new 1-rep max established, we restart. This program is very repeatable in the fact that it uses periodization training, so we won't have to worry about burning out throughout the program. You know, the nervous system needs a break. We start off with about 5 days a week in the beginning, and by the time you get to the last week, you're only working out 3 days just because of the intensity level. But phenomenal program for building your maxes. And I'm hoping that by the end of this 5-week cycle, I can have a pretty solid 1-rep max established that meets my actual strengths. And then by the time I run through this program, the next go around, I should be able to see results that are a little more catered towards the more advanced lifters, where you get a slower progress or a slower progression, but it's still progression nonetheless. So I do have another program that I plan on hitting at the end of this. So I'm not going to get like a direct, 1-rep max comparison, but it's a special program that I've been working on. I call it the Death Squat program, and that is exactly what it's going to be. But before I started jumping into, a program that's designed around building up your legs and growing your squat max and focusing on higher repetition squats and really challenging the mind, I wanted to make sure that I went through this particular program to build up my 1-rep max. So by the time I hit the squat program, I'm working at peak potential. And so it's going to be just that much more brutal. And I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to posting up some more videos of my workouts, the day-to-day challenges, how I figure things out on a regular basis, and even things from like calculating 1-rep maxes. I'm hoping in the this upcoming year, before the end of the year, that I can get my deadlifts to 405, and so that'll be a new feat for me, a new challenge. But I want to take you guys along the journey. So if you like what you see, feel free to like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. I don't want to be making these videos if it's a waste of time and nobody cares. So if you care, if this is something you're interested in, make sure you follow, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Put something in the comments. If you got questions that need to be answered, I would be glad to answer them in the comments, maybe even upcoming videos. And, I just also want to say too, that if you are interested in any of my programming, very, very soon I will be putting out a pre-sale for my current program that I'm working on. But before I get to that pre-sale, I just want to give you a little preview so you can see what I'm doing, see the potential, see what's gained from this, and you know, I just look forward to sharing it all with you guys. So without further ado, you guys have a good day. It was good to see you. I'm probably going to hit some, you know, some ab work, and then I got the rest of my day to go. You know, some work to put in, and you know, just get myself prepared for tomorrow when I come back again for my next workout. So until then, I'll see you guys. Have a good one. Take care and stay strong. Bye.